Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Friday, so it's time for a Fright Friday review. This week's category could choose from two: Animal Planet or What Sharp Teeth You Have. And I'm sure by that cover you can tell which of the two that I chose. And the movie is The Monster Project, which is a Dread Central Presents, number six. Sort of filmed in like a found footage with their video cameras and head cameras. Still a really good movie. There's the back of it, as you can see. Aspiring filmmakers find three cast members who claim to be real monsters. Filming in an abandoned mansion, the production soon becomes a nightmare as they reveal their true forms: a skinwalker, a demon, and a vampire. So basically, it starts out a couple of friends, Jamal and Devin. They're filming a video for YouTube. They like hunt creatures and monsters, supposedly. And Jamal's in his house and he hears noises outside and then something on the roof. And he's like, yo, I don't go for this Michael Myers shit. And he's all freaked out and he goes outside and trying to see what's on the roof. He hears something and he decides to climb up the ladder against the house, stupidly, of course. So when he's on top of the roof, he sees like this shadow, and then all of a sudden something turns with green eyes and rushes at him, and he falls off the roof, and he's all like, ah! He totally missed a mark that he was supposed to fall, and you see the creature remove its face, and it's his friend wearing a mask, and he's like, dude, how could you miss that? And then we cut to the next scene, and the video's edited, and it's got like 100,000 views. And Devin's all impressed. He's like, dude, people will watch anything. This is money. And he goes, you know what? I got an idea. And he tells them that they should turn it into a show. And he wants to find people who are real monsters. And he knows they're not real monsters, but, he just wants to get more ratings and money. And he thinks it would be a really cool thing to do. He also gets his ex Muriel involved and Jamal's roommate, who's also a recovering drug addict, sober for like 240 days, involved in this, and he puts an ad on Craigslist trying to find people. He was saying no actors, only real monsters, people who are possessed, a vampire or a lichen. So he gets his replies. One of them is from a Native American. He goes out to meet on this reservation, who's a police officer, Stephen. He goes by. Claims to be a skinwalker. Then they received an email from someone named Shayla, who says that she's a vampire, and before she meets, she wants some blood from them as like good faith. So Devin had ordered some needles and syringes and everything, and Jamal went and donated the blood, but they talked Brian into it, gave him $100, so they drained. They took his blood. She probably would have drained him, but they take a little vial of his blood and drop it off at a meeting spot. They go to the park and they set it on the bench like they were told to do in the email. And they were like waiting for a minute, and then all of a sudden you hear like some rustling and something like go by like in a flash real fast, inhuman speed, and the blood's gone and the swings are shaking, and Brian's kind of a little freaked out a little bit and talking about in the car, if in the Bible God says there are demons, so how do we know nothing else isn't real? And Devin's still not believing that there's real such creatures, pushing his luck, of course, which is totally stupid, but oh well. And then like 3 in the morning or something really late, they get a banging. Jamal gets a banging at the door, and there's a DVD left there that says Shiora, and it's about a girl saying she's claiming that she's possessed, and she refers to herself as we. So now we got Shiora, Shayla, and Steven, the skinwalker, and they go to this mansion that Devin had rented out so they could film it there, and it's going to be a night of a lunar eclipse as well, so that's just perfect. You got your lunar eclipse in a creepy mansion, and the guy who was even renting the mansion was saying how there were people who had sacrificed animals in that house, so that's a creepy setting enough as it is too, so there might be something that plays in the part of that later on. And so they set up for their interviews. Stephen talks about how his identity is you don't see what he looks like because he doesn't want his identity to get out to the reservation, but he tells about being a skinwalker and the pain it feels for during the transformation, but the power of the beast. He has no control over it. Then we go to Shayla's interview. Um, yeah, Shayla, I believe her name was. And she doesn't want to be asked questions by Devin. She wants Brian, who's doing the grip at the time and the sound, to ask the questions. So Devin's kind of like whatever and has him ask, like, what's it like being a vampire? Can you be harmed by the sun? And she just says that she prefers to be nocturnal because being out in the day is like, when you're hungover and everything is loud and your head hurts and people on the street, everything bothers her. So she prefers the night to do her work. And then she's talking about how when she drinks the blood, how it gives her a high. And you know how it is. She explains to him, but oxy isn't my thing. And then that reveals that he's still, doing oxy, taking the pills when he's not supposed to be. And he's all like, you're a fucking liar, and runs off. And Jamal goes after and confronts him because he's supposed to be, sober, and that's why he's staying with him, and he's all pissed off. So he's like, you made your choice, and Brian leaves. And the next interview we got is Shiora, and she shows these scratches that she had, and she tells how the dark man's always smiling and long teeth, and that he would leave her if she had come. And then, the lights go out and freaky stuff starts going on. And Jamal is the first one to see Stephen turn into the werewolf, his body twisting, and he's freaking out. He's attacked, and they're all running out. And Brian hears, and he starts to run back in, and Mariel and Devin and Brian are outside, and Meryl's saying we got to go back and help him, which is stupid. She's like, oh, he'll be dead before we get help. Me personally, I'd be out of there, but hey, we wouldn't have a movie otherwise. So Brian and Devin and Mariel go back in to try to find him. And when they go back in, they're attacked by Shayla, who reveals her true vampire form. She goes after him. They end up staking her, but not before she bit Mariel. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm sure you can come to your conclusion what happens to that. Then we see Shiora's demon. She does like an exorcist spider walk thing. She's floating through the house. She even, like, Brian, who, believes in God and everything, was saying his prayers and had a cross and was trying to, like, get the demon to go away. At one point, he even takes over Shayla. They find Jamal, and his back is scratched, and but he was still alive, and he had taken the gun, but the gun hadn't harmed the werewolf, and they're just, trying to survive and get out of there. And before Shayla gets possessed, Brian's trying to do sort of like an exorcist on the demon, goes into his mind, and you find out one of his sins, a couple of his sins, and it's just really crazy all that goes on, and tries to take over him. And there's just stuff that goes on. I don't really want to reveal too much. There's a twist, and there's something that was meant for the Monster Project that Devin had planned, that he had chosen that house specifically, that refers... Oh, the demon was saying that he is coming, and that kind of refers to, like, the sacrifices that went on to the house, and Devin saying that how he has a plan. He told Shayla when something happens to her after she was bitten, he says she's dying, and all of this was all part of his plan. So it's really good. I enjoyed it. It's got a really interesting twist ending. There's more to it than the monsters. Even the monsters were brought there for a reason. So if you want to find out why that is, definitely check this out. You can get it from Epic Pictures. It may still be on Amazon, or you can watch it on any APK if you know that I always talk about of stuff that you can find where I find my movies and usually watch them. Alright, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time.